Hey, well, I am back. I am Christina L. Turner, the Kingmaker, and I wanted to give some words of encouragement because my channel is not just about doing business, but also to provide encouragement, to empower you to be your best self. So I want to talk a little bit about my journey as being an entrepreneur, and it looks so good. It's so many of us that we do stuff on camera, and it looks so good. We got the lights, our hair is together, we have makeup on, and actually, behind the scenes, it's been a lot of hard work. So, I've been in business. I made 26 years a week ago. Yeah, I made 26 years being in business last week. And I can tell you that I have never seen anything like this that is happening before. And 26 years is a long time to be in business. So I've seen a lot. And my business has not always been successful. I've had physical issues that have prevented me from being in business. I suffered a brief time of homelessness, like literally, yeah, I was sleeping in my car when I relocated to another state. I slept in my car like for 3 days. I was in a shelter for 45 days during my transition, and I'm being really transparent. It is really, I'm sorry, I got something in my eye. It is really, really difficult when you really believe in something and the things that you have to endure it's almost as if the universe is asking you, or God is asking you, how bad do you want it? And I remember when I moved to Houston, Texas. I'm not living in Houston any longer. And all the beautifulness of the type of family that I have and everything like that, like literally I was homeless. And I was sleeping in my car. I did live in a homeless shelter for 45 days. And I had came from New York, where I was well known. In ministry. People knew who I was. I was a worship leader. We had over 3,000 members of my church. I was not only that, but I had my friends, my support system, everything. But I actually felt that God was telling me that it was time for me to leave. And I did not know that it was going to me leaving. And it wasn't, I was homeless because I didn't have the money. Like I could have gotten an apartment, but it didn't seem like wisdom to me to get an apartment, and I did not have a job. And I was still trying to transition my business. I didn't even know which direction. And at that time, I only had one company, which is my event planning company, Alsace Events and Design, which made 26 years last week. But I really didn't know. And I was in a situation, and I remember crying on the side of the road because I had nowhere to go. But I was actually driven to move to Texas, and I felt like being there was going to, just I needed room to grow, and I did. I grew a lot. I grew so much. So I wrote programs in the state of New York, and they paid me for it. Nonprofits paid me to write programs for their nonprofits to help people, and that was one of the things that I loved doing. That's why I was in ministry. I am licensed and ordained elder in the ministry, even though I'm not in ministry any longer. So I wrote programs. That was one of the things that I did, and I remember writing a program that I have to this day that I wrote for my nonprofit called Visions of Courage Life Development Corporation. And we're just revamping that up again because I still want to help people. I still have a pull to help people, and I have money. I rolled into the city, in my Benz, and I had to make a decision. Do I make a decision and pull the money out of my account that I have to get an apartment, and there was no guarantee that I would have a job, and then I would be evicted, and then I would have bad credit, and I'm going to end up homeless anyway because of the fact I didn't have a job, and I didn't know how long it was going to take for me to get a job. I did not have that kind of faith because I was on the edge of fear, and fear can literally paralyze you from doing what you're really supposed to do. So in that 45 days of me living in a homeless shelter, what I did, I pulled out the program that I have written, that I have used to help other people with, that I have used to help people in other areas, that I knew that this program was going to work within 30 days. Even though I had never in my life ever been homeless before, never had lights shut off, never knew what it's like to be hungry, never been evicted, never nothing. And it was like God said, you wrote the key to get yourself out of this stuff that have helped other people. And it's amazing how we have all of these tools that we don't use for ourselves. So I pulled that program out. I put myself into a homeless shelter, and within 45 days, while I was there in that shelter, I helped so many people. I did resumes. I would go to Texas Workforce Commission every morning. They opened up at I think it was like 8:30 in the morning. I would be there every single day, and I would sit at a table and help people with their resume. People would just start coming up to me because they thought, and I was dressed. So I looked like I worked there, but I didn't work there. I just was sitting there looking for a job. I had my own laptop looking for a job. That was a place that I went to every single day. And because of the fact a person saw me there, one person that saw me there every single day, they ended up bringing me a desk that I could just sit there. And they said, would you help us help people with their resumes? Sure. They didn't pay me. Texas Workforce Commission didn't pay me. I did it as a volunteer and sat there and worked every single day. And there was another thing too, and I don't know if there's somebody that is homeless now, but what I did was I packed all my stuff every single day. Every day, I left nothing in that shelter. Nothing. I didn't leave sheets. I didn't leave. I brought my own sheets. I had my own blanket. You would have thought that that I was coming for camp. They gave me a locker where I put all my things, and every morning I would take stuff out. And every evening I would bring stuff in and set myself up because I knew that this was a temporary situation. And every day I went to Texas Workforce Commission and I did resumes for free. And because of that, that's how I got into the tax business. So now I was trying to build my business as an event planner, homeless, okay, going to Texas Workforce Commission, living in the shelter, and then got into the tax business. And if it wasn't for, and I say this all the time, if it wasn't for Miss Felisa Jackson, if she had not hired me to work for Liberty Tax Services, I would not have my tax business today. And I thank her every time that I look, anytime that I do any work for my business. This is why I am open to help people. This is why I give so much. And people say, oh, you need to have people to pay you for that. I do agree. There are certain levels, yes, you do need to pay. But basic information that I have, if there's anything that I can do to encourage you, please don't stop. I know this pandemic is mind-blowing. And you probably were struggling even before this pandemic even happened. I have been there. I know what it's like to sleep in my car. I'm about ready to cry. I know what it's like to sleep in my car I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to feel like no one has given you any support whatsoever. I know that. And people will talk a good game and say they are for you. I know what it's like to join with other people who don't have your back. I have been through so much living in Houston, Texas, from people partying up with me who wasn't really in partnership, but they wanted the money. People saying that they can do things and they could not do it and gave them the money. People who try to make my name look bad because they tried to say that I wasn't paying, but I paid people. I mean, I've been through so much in business. Like literally, I am going to be writing a book about entrepreneurship, and I'm not going to talk about the glam stuff. It is hard work. It is hard work. You have, and it's more so mental than anything. It is mental and spiritual and skill. It's mental, spiritual, and skill. You have to be able to balance all three and work within all three. And you ask God, the universe, whoever you believe in, your higher power, yourself in here, you have to ask yourself help. You have to tap into yourself, into your knowing, and pull it out, into your spiritual gifts and pull it out. Because all of us are gifted. We are all spiritually gifted. And I have said that time and time again. But I'm telling my story today, and I'm going to probably go more in depth when I do write my book, when I finish writing it, because I kind of already started, but you know, I'm still trying to balance everything out now that I'm living in the state of Georgia. And during the pandemic, I just felt the shift to move with everything else that was going on. And so now I'm in Georgia, and I felt the release, and I feel good, and things are happening, but it's still work. And it doesn't matter how much money you make, you still have to be able to tap into yourself. You have to believe in yourself when no one else is believing in you. You have to believe in yourself. You cannot allow your heart to fail. You cannot. You cannot allow your heart to fail. Your heart desires, your dreams, your goals. You cannot allow them to fail. You can do it. And I'm telling you from experience, if I can do it, and like I said, I come from a very good family, a very good family. But that was my mission. That was my goal. That's what I needed to do to get to where I'm at right here. And I'm a fighter. And I know that you're a fighter too. And you can do this. Even in this pandemic, there's going to be a major shift for a lot of people, including myself. During this time, this is the best time. And I have prophetically said in 2017 that entrepreneurship was going to be the way to go. I have to find that video because I did it through, I think it was a Facebook Live, and I'm gonna have my guide to upload that video so that it can be on my YouTube channel. And that's another thing too, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Christina L. Turner Kingmaker. You can subscribe to it because I'm gonna be putting a lot of videos that I do. Is going to be loaded up there. But yes, I was homeless, sleeping in my car, sleeping outside in my car, lived in a shelter. Yes, me, I did. I did. When I first arrived, I did. In 45 days, I tapped into myself within those 45 days by helping people, and I changed the whole paradigm of my life. You can change it too. That's not the first time. I'm telling you, that's not the first time where I had losses. I've had many, many losses along this journey within the last 10 years. Before the 10 years, many losses. And if I can get up and do it, you can get up and do it. I need for you to tap into yourself, okay? Tap into your prayer life, meditate, whatever it is that you need, but don't give up on yourself. Ask whomever, your universe, God, whoever you believe in, to give you a witty invention, whatever it is that you need, and you will be able to do it. And it's not easy, but I'm here for you. So if you have any questions and you want to talk, you can inbox me on Facebook, Christina L. Turner Kingmaker, or Christina L. Turner, which is my personal Facebook page. I would be glad to help you any kind of way. Oh, and join my Millionaire Resource, Kingmaker's Millionaire Resource group. You want to be able to join that so you can get all the bits and pieces and questions. If you have any questions, you can ask them, because I check it every day. And I have people in there who don't do it, but I'm telling you, I've been where you are. I have. So be encouraged. I love you. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great month. And I'll see you soon.